Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Perchy TV. New series, new guest. TJ's been on before, but this is a new series doing between us. We'll be doing it every single Tuesday, but because I was at a game on Tuesday, we moved it to Friday. But move next week, every Tuesday at this time, every day on every Tuesday, we'll be going through what happened the week before. Big up TJ, mate. Welcome on. How you doing, mate?
Perch, I am great, man. Thank you so much for having me on, setting this show up. I've been really excited
Speaking of the
about this all
background,
week.
by the way.
So the background is immense. The background is a big reason why I'm here. You got the American flag, got Arsenal, two of the things that I love the most in this world.
I had to
United
put you
States
on
and the
that side
Arsenal.
of it because
I
of it.
appreciate it. And then that side of it, I mean, I'm okay with the UK, but the thing on the ball, I'm not a big fan of. Either way, though, it's great, and I'm really looking forward to what this show is going to become. I know it's going to cook all season, so let's do it.
We're going to do. We're going to plan to do it every single Tuesday, all the way to the end of the season. The idea is and listen, guys, get your questions in as well. We'll do questions with you guys in the chat. We'll go for about an hour or so and just see how it goes. And just this show's not just about us too; it's about you guys in the chat as well. So,
100%.
but first of all, I think let's start it off. And big shout out to everyone in the chat. But first of all, before we talk about the chat, here we go. Harry Kane to Bayern Munich.
Oh,
now let's talk. What are your thoughts on it? I know you've been eager for this. I mean, it couldn't have happened on a worse day for me for it to happen. But Harry Kane is going to Bayern Munich. For me, I'll say my thoughts on this one. I expect it to happen. I expected it to happen anyway. I see a lot of people with meltdown about it. For me, no. I just think for now we need to be sensible. The price tag was £100 million. The price tag's hit, and we're selling him. The meltdown is that we're selling him on the first day of the season. TJ, fill me in and let me know your thoughts on this all.
I understand why Spurs fans are upset. Again, with Daniel Levy putting on his clown nose and his clown makeup one more time, to sell Harry Kane 3 days before you guys are about to take on Brentford.
2 days.
2 days. Sorry,
Yeah.
excuse me. 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm really I almost feel bad for you guys, but Harry Kane moving to Bayern Munich is great news for any Arsenal fan. Hasta la bye-bye to Harry Kane. I'm best of luck in Germany. He will no, and I was about to bring that up because knowing Arsenal's luck, he will draw Bayern Munich.
It would be poetic justice, wouldn't it? If I was thinking, and on I did a video this morning which was just like, thank you, Harry, for all the service you've done for us because you've been absolutely amazing. But the one thing I said was it would be poetic now if the Champions League draw comes out and Bayern Munich draw Arsenal. It would just be poetically funny. I'd think it'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But listen, on my side of it, I'm not massively worried. I'm not in the meltdown phase because for me, my upset was 2 years ago when I thought he was going to Man City. So for me, it was all about, do you know what? Now I expected him to go to Man City that year. So for me, I felt, do you know what? Anything now we have with Harry Kane is just a bonus. I said to myself, he's not going to be here for the rest of his career. I said he'll see out his contract. But to be fair, we've got 120 million pounds or 120 million euros or whatever it is, over 100 million pounds for a player. Bear in mind, a 30-year-old. And here's the one I want to ask you: a 30-year-old with 1 year left on his contract, and he's not signing a new contract. Now, I want to get your perspective on this because I keep saying, put yourself in an Arsenal's shoes and go, as an Arsenal fan, what would you say? Theorize, and I mean, park the rivalry for a second, but just be another fan that's not a Tottenham fan to go, if you had a 30-year-old at your club, a rival, at any other club you see, and you go, you're getting over £100 million for a 30-year-old that's going with 1 year left, and he's not signing
1 year left on his deal, but he is signing an extension with Bayern. He's signing a new deal with Bayern.
No, that's what I mean, but he's not signing. I mean, he's not signing a new deal with Tottenham.
Tottenham. Yeah, no.
So my point being is we're getting £100 million for a player that is leaving on a free in 9 months' time. And for me, on that perspective, I sit and go, do you know what? Fair enough. He's not going to the Premier League. He's not. And this is one of the key ones I said. Yeah, big up. Oh, we need to sort
You want to come on this afternoon?
this afternoon. Maybe I can't. Actually, no, I can't. I would love to.
Okay. We'll work something out.
We'll definitely work something. Definitely, we'll sort of hang on. But for me, the key one was to do the whole situation with the whole Harry Kane situation. He's not signing a new deal. He's not going to be playing against us. I said that was one of the key factors for me. I said, I don't want him to go to any other football club in the Premier League on a free where he has the opportunity to score against us at our place. I said, I couldn't imagine it. Him coming back with Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes to our place, scores against us and beats us at our ground. Couldn't have it. We're getting a load of money. We're letting him go to abroad where he actually can affect our rivals in the Champions League potentially. So he could affect Man United, Arsenal. No, he can't play Man City.
Oh, he can't play Man City. Well,
he wouldn't be able to play
in the
Man
later
City
rounds he might. But no, I hear what you're saying. In the later rounds.
He can't play Man City in the group. Who was the other one that qualified? Newcastle. So was the other one. Yeah. So he can affect our rivals in the Champions League, not in the Premier League, which is brilliant. Great, cool. Now, for me, what I want to see is let's build from this. For me. Go in and buy a gift Orban from Ghent, young 22-year-old hungry striker. Go and buy another centre half and go and buy a midfielder.
My question for you, my question for you though, Perch, is you got the 100 million, but do you trust Levy to spend it correctly? That's the biggest question that I would say. I mean, and from your perspective, it's what needed to happen. From a Tottenham Hotspur, it's going to hurt a lot of Tottenham Hotspur fans for a while, just because your legend just left the club. It's going to hurt. There's a lot of feelings out there, but from a business standpoint, it made the most sense. From a financial standpoint, it made the most sense. But do you trust your ownership to spend the money effectively? Now, that is what would worry me the most.
Let's break that down. When we say the ownership, okay, when we say that, what we're saying is the recruitment side. We're talking about recruitment. Now let's break down our recruitment this summer. I think we brought in a goalkeeper that we wanted. Whether or not people,
wasn't your first choice, but I understand what you're saying.
Wasn't, but we felt that we were being overpriced for the first choice and went under the radar, got a second choice, click of a finger, done. There we go. We've got the goalkeeper ready. Madison, whether people say he was relegated, blah blah blah, cheap buy and all that lot. He's doubled his price tag already. He's an £80 million player that we got for £40 million. I don't care what people argue. That's what it is. Okay. Good player. I think James Maddison's a revelation. Looked brilliant in pre-season. Who else have we down brought in? Manor Solomon. I think he's a tidy player. I think he looks really, really sharp. I like him. Free signing, but a good bit of business. I think that's good business. Exactly what Postecoglou would need in his system. And now we've brought in Van der Ven. And now I look at it and go, okay, really, really good centre half here, who I'm really, really excited about. Everyone was saying about taps over Van der Ven, and I was like, no. You need to go and get Van der Ven in. I said, his recovery pace, for me, is exactly what we need at Tottenham. We're too slow at the back. I think Romero makes way too many mistakes. Eric Dyer and Davinson Sanchez are a mistake waiting to happen. All the time, they're a mistake waiting to happen, them two. And now what we've got in a quick centre half. Listen, it's going to take time with him. He's a young 22-year-old lad. He needs to learn what Romero's like. He needs to learn. Them two need to learn very quickly. But then we look out wide. We've got Adoji, who I'm really excited about. I really like him. Defensively concerned, but going forward, I really like. On the other side, I'm worried. I think Porro and Emerson Royale is a concern. I think we're going to have a big problem there with which is the right one. I think it's going to be more Emerson. And then I think Porro is going to play further forward down the line in this system. I think they'll work it in the right way. Yeah, so go mate.
No. I was just going to say, that's all well and good, but the big question I think at Spurs is, do you, well, there are two. Do you think you have the depth at the center back position that you need? I don't think you do.
Nope.
And then and then the second one is where are the goals going to come from? See, these were the questions that I wanted to bring you because I don't think you guys have even by committee right now, even if you brought in the individual that you were talking about to replace the goals that you lose by losing Harry Kane?
So I'll break it down to you. It's good question, great question. For me, I think we're going to be fine goals wise. I'm one of those. I genuinely think we're going to be absolutely fine. I think what you've got to do now. Let's break down last season. Last season, Harry Kane scored 30 goals. That's fact in the league. Well, let's just talk Premier League. Harry Kane scored 30 goals last season. Who came second with it? Heung-min Son. He scored 11, which on his stat, from the standards I put him at, shit.
Yeah, I mean, the system didn't suit him, but go ahead.
Yeah, to a certain degree. But listen, I think elite players at that level, elite players at the level, do it anyway. The system didn't suit Harry Kane last season. He scored 30 goals last season. So when I put players on levels, good elite players can do it at any sort of system. Harry Kane showed it last season. He was. Do you think Harry Kane liked playing that defensive, negative football last season? No. He would have loved having the attacking players in there so he can get in the box and stuff. But he still scored 30 goals last season. So this season now, what I'm looking at, what I saw in preseason, one of the big things I saw at preseason was what I was really, really excited about was twofold.
Okay.
High energy from point one. At the goalkeeper, you've got the likes of Richarlison pressing the goalkeeper. Love all that. We'll get onto him because there's a big negative I want to put on him in a second. But positives, we're talking positives. Now, what you look at last season, we scored 60 or whatever goals. I think we scored. It's gonna really annoy me. I think we scored 64 goals last season. No, we got a plus goal difference. Yeah, it's 67 we scored because we had a +4, I think, and we conceded 63.
I'm gonna look that up. I thought you guys.
Yeah, go and double check that. I think we scored about 67 goals last season, or maybe it was even more. Actually, it could have been more, but I know we conceded 63. So on that basis, mate, basis,
you were +7, conceded 63. Go on.
It was plus. Right. Yes, we scored 70.
You're right. You're right. Yep, scored 70.
Yeah, so we scored 70 goals. Harry Kane scored 30 of that 70. Now, the other 40 goals came from 11 from Heung-min Son. Who do you think came third? Just chuck a name out. Chuck a name out. Who do you think came third?
Kulusevski.
Nope. Bentancur. 5.
Yeah, but he was out. Yeah, and he was out half the season too.
He was out for half the season. So there you go. There you go. So look at that problem already. Out of the top 3 goal scorers in our team last season, they scored 46 goals. And as you mentioned, we scored 70. Now you're looking at the problem. We had one person scoring goals and the rest scored none, realistically. Kulusevski scored 1 goal. Richarlison scored 2 goals. And now you look at it and you go, Eric Dyer scored a couple of goals, a couple of centre-halves scored a couple of goals here and there. Emerson Royale scored a couple of goals. Not good enough. Now, 23-24. Hear me out. James Maddison's going to get you 10 goals this season. I would put any money on it. Maddison will get us 10 goals this season. I think that's not crazy. I think that's fair. He's a good player. He's good on free kicks, and he'll score a few goals this season.
In and around, yeah, I agree.
He's a good player. He'll do well.
I mean, he's a great player.
So that, I think, okay. That's 10. Now we're looking for 20 more. Son's not going to have another season like that. He can't do. It was awful last season. So now let's say Son scores another 10 goals. He scored 9. Say he scores 21 goals next season. I think he could do a lot better than that. But let's just say it. There you go. That's 20. That's 20 of the 30 of Harry Kane's goals. Now the last 10, you go. Solomon gets you 5. Richarlison gets you 5 to 10. Keep going. Kulusevski's not going to score 1 goal next season. He can't do. Say he gets 5. Already, the goals that Harry Kane scored last season are already spreading out. Already. Mm-hmm. There is no way we're going to score. There's no way we're not going to score that many goals now. We're going to be fine goals-wise. All you need is, as I said, 5 players to at least get an extra 8 to 10 goals. It's going to happen. At least 4 or 5. We're going to be absolutely fine on the goal front. I genuinely think that.
Okay.
Because I think we're going to play a system that isn't going to be reliant on one person scoring goals where we were last season. This free-flowing, attacking football. By the way, we're going to concede a load of goals. Mark my word, we're going to concede a load of goals.
You are going to concede a lot.
We are. But we're going to be at the Ozzy Ardiles era where it's we'll just score more than you kind of era. That's how we're going to be at. So, and for me, I'm excited for it. I'm really excited this season. There's so much negativity going on with Tottenham at the moment. I genuinely think I'm quite positive about this season. And I think we're going to do absolutely fine. So, on that note, where do you think we'll finish the season? I'll ask you and I'll tell you where I think. I've just done my prediction and that comes out. It's going to be released in the next half an hour or so. So let me know what you think.
I think 8th. I think 8th.
Yeah, that's fair. I predicted us. Actually, no. I initially went 7th, but I've moved us to 6th above Newcastle.
Okay, so what? I just think that the vulnerabilities that you guys have in the counter and at the back right now are dire, and that's not a play on words.
I see what you've done there.
You guys are going to be looking. You guys are going to have Eric Dyer as your captain.
No, he's not going to be captain.
You don't think he's going to be? Oh, I don't know, man. He says I'm the captain now. He tweeted it.
No, that
you better know. You never know.
Oh, Eric I don't know. Listen, I think people are getting a bit stressed, and even hear me out. Even if he is, I don't want him to be. But even if he is, like, okay, but the manager's going to have picked him as captain if he is the manager. I don't think he has. I think that would be silly if we did. I don't know.
Who do you want to be captain?
Who do I want to be captain?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say who I want and who I think it will be. That's fair. I want it to be Yves Bissouma. I want Bissouma to be my captain next season because I think he's going to be the leader in the middle. He's going to be the one that dictates everything from the middle. And I'm old school where I think a centre midfielder or a centre half should be captain. I'm not one of these about goalkeepers and strikers being captains. You need someone in the middle of the park that can go, do you know what? Come here, sort yourself out.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think my only concern with Bissouma is I don't know if he's that type of player. That's my only concern. Mm-hmm. But I think, and hear me out, my thing is I think the captain's going to be Heung-min Son. I think it'll be Son.
I would think that would be the most logical choice.
Logically, I think
he's very measured. He represents the club very well. And, I don't like talking positively. Big up early doors. Big up my guy, Tony. I don't like talking positively about any Spurs players, but Heung-min Son is always the most dangerous. When I look at the starting 11, he's always the most dangerous player aside from Harry Kane.
But the captain shouldn't be your most dangerous player. Your captain needs to be your leader. So
yeah. I think he is a leader.
The only thing with Heung-min Son, this is my only theory with him. I love Heung-min Son. Great player. My only concern is he going to be the guy that gets in the face of the referee? Because this is the only thing that I will give Harry Kane. I don't think Harry Kane's a leader by example kind of leader. He leads by example.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas someone like, someone like a Jordan Henderson, use him as an example, is a leader of the pitch. He's one of those that if something goes wrong, he's in the face of the referee going, no. What are you going on about? Blah, 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 blah. And he's dictating to everyone around him to say, wake up, we're doing this now. We didn't have that last season. I used the capitulation against Newcastle early on. Use that as an example. There was no one on that pitch going, guys, I don't care what the manager said now. We're going to batten up the hatches now. We're 2-0 down in 5 minutes. We're not conceding another goal for 10 minutes. We're sitting back. Even if we have to get the ball and launch it into the stands every single time, we're going to do that. Yeah. No. Yeah. But that's what leaders do. All the best centre half and the captains in centre half do that. Not one person said that, and you could tell we just fell apart. No one went.
Maybe I didn't watch Bissouma enough last season, but do you think he has that leadership quality? Is he getting in the face of people?
That's my only concern with Bissouma is I don't know his character.
Yeah.
Is he going to be that guy? The one thing I will say, though, he's the one in midfield that we will build around. We'll build around Yves Bissouma this season. He's going to be the first name in centre midfield, and then it's who's going to complement him
he's a baller.
Next to it. And Maddison probably. So my three, I've always said my three in midfield will be Bissouma, Maddison, and I think Skip will start, but I think it will be Bentancur when he's back from injury. That will be my three at the moment.
Yep.
But yeah, so for me at the moment, that's all the talk about
Skip looks good.
Hmm? Did well. What I like, he's found a new role.
Skip looked great.
I was at the Barcelona game. He looked really good. Really, really good. I'm excited. It's a totally different role to what we've seen him at. Totally big up. Thank you for subbing. Guys, if you haven't, go and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 2K. We're nearly there. About 300 away.
Everybody,
less than that. About 250 away. So go and subscribe to this man. I'm making sure I'm doing the right way. Yeah, it is that one. Go and subscribe to this man over there.
Yes.
His link is the link is in the bio and in the title of the show. And if there's a mod in here, whack his channel in there and go and subscribe over. Definitely, of course. Let's talk about your team. Arsenal. They've already won a trophy. You must be going crazy. You won the Community Shield.
Fantastic.
It's in the thumbnail.
I don't
Declan Rice has won a trophy already. Now, I'm joking, of course. It's a glorified friendly. I always will say the Community Shield is the glorified friendly.
Yep.
Okay. But how do you think you guys are going to do this season? What are you excited about and what are you not excited about? Tell me. Fill me in.
Okay. Yeah. So it's always great to beat Man City. Don't get me wrong. I was very happy with the way we stuck in the game. We pulled it out. I don't think we played very well. To be honest with you. Big up Mama Flossie every time.
Big up Mama Flossie.
I literally I went nuts when we won. Not going to lie. I was shameless about it because just beating Man City in any capacity is great. I don't care if it's preseason, but obviously, the question is going to be, can we do that in November? Can we do that, in the winter months when it's cold out? Are we going to be able to pull off the same results? The question is out there. I think that we're going to finish second again. Because I don't think we have what it takes to get over the line. I mean, and the big difference here, Perchie, is like what is going to tell the tale for Arsenal this season is did Mikel Arteta learn his lesson from last season? Did he learn his lessons from his mistakes he made in game management? The mistakes he made with player management, subs, when he was making those subs. There was several times where I was literally punching the air, punching my keyboard saying, in the 80th minute, why are we just now bringing on subs, right? So hopefully he learned those lessons and we're able to get over some of those humps that were glaring issues last season. Am I looking forward to the season? Yeah. I mean, we have the potential to go all the way. It's just whether or not the management has learned to correct those mistakes. What I'm not looking forward to is certain attachments that Arteta has to players on this squad. I'm still not a fan of Alexander Zinchenko at the left back position. I still think he's a natural midfielder. He even admitted that he is not a great left back, that he's not good at defense. He admitted it. So
but the way you guys play, though,
why are we doing
into midfield, no?
What?
The way you guys play, though, he tucks into midfield, right? He plays that
he goes inverted into midfield. Yeah, he goes inverted into midfield, but I want us to have other options, is what I'm saying. Like, so
you got Kieran Tierney, right?
What?
You got Tierney, right? He plays even more natural left back.
He's being linked to loans out in the La Liga. Like we know that he's probably not in Arteta's plans. He's an overlapping left back. He does not fit into how Mikel Arteta plays the game, which I think is it's frustrating. Because I think Kieran Tierney is Arsenal through and through. He will die for you on the pitch out there. He comes in when you need a solid left back. In the 68th minute, he comes in and he does a job. Look at how he performed against Man City. Look at how he performed against Barcelona. He looked great. It's very, very frustrating to see how Kieran Tierney gets treated by this manager.
Yeah,
and it's a huge sticking point.
No, that's fair. That's a very good point. And guys, if you're in the chat, go and smash the like button as well, guys. We've got 15 likes. Come on, better than that.
Get it up.
We did a show early and we got 100 likes. Come on, where is everyone? I'm assuming you're all watching Henry Wright, probably.
Yeah, they're all over with Henry and freaking
They're all over Henry, and I think they're all at Sava now because Sava's on live now. But I have pushed you guys all over the Sava show straight after this anyway on the redirect. I did say I would do that. So breaking news has just come out by Fabrizio Romano. Harry Kane has landed in Munich. It's not that great. It's not that exciting yet because he's landed in Munich to have his medical. Do you think he gets announced tonight?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You think it'll be announced tonight? Not they'll leave it for tomorrow morning. No. But my only thing is I think what I want them to do is I do hope this is me being the sentimental type. I try not to be. Since I've been on YouTube, I'm very lazy in the sentimental side. But I do hope they allow him to do his bit for Spurs. I think it would be very Bayern Munich to just go and announce it and then go, oh, we'll let Harry Kane do his thing after. I think they should allow Harry Kane to go and do his bit with Tottenham first and then announce him to join Bayern. Because I think it would sit right with me if he just gets announced and then an hour later he then does his thing with Tottenham. I think it would be a bit weird, but that's just me being a little bit sentimental. I don't normally get sentimental. I'm one of those.
Well, he's your legend. I can understand it for a second, but you have the right, like I'm gonna say you have the right mindset, unlike a lot of your other fan bases, to where they say, yeah, we lost him. Yeah, we're sad about it, but we got to look to the future. And you outlined a couple of positive things. I don't think it's going to be as positive as you think it is. In terms of, assuming that certain goals are going to come from certain areas.
We're going to be absolutely fine. I think we're going to go.
I don't know.
We're going to buy more players. Come on, people, this thing have already said, oh, we're not going to. All the money's already been spent. No, it hasn't. We're going to buy 3 more players. We'll buy another centre midfielder, a centre half, and an attacker.
Are you going to buy anybody out of the Premier League though? That has legitimate Premier League experience.
What's Premier League experience though? That's a fallacy though. It's not a fallacy.
It's not a fallacy.
Erling Haaland had no Premier League experience. He went and tore the league.
Erling Haaland is the exception to the rule. Or Erling Haaland is a robot.
Look at how many
an alien.
There are loads of players come in and do well. Loads of players come to the Premier League and do well. Look at the Premier League. If the Premier League was Premier League experience, we're going to go and sign Callum Wilson? He's got Premier League experience.
I would take Callum Wilson.
I think we're better than that at the moment.
I would take Callum Wilson at Arsenal just because of what we have in attack at Arsenal. And I was gonna say on the subject of James Maddison, for the record, I wanted James Maddison above Kai Havertz, by the way, before anybody gets on me about Kai Havertz. I was on record saying, please bring me James Maddison. He is an absolute baller. Yes, I get that a lot, Susie. People think I'm a Spurs fan because I'm nice to guys like Bergman. Give me a break.
Wifey's sending the love over, of course. Yeah,
I'll be a dick when I need to be, but I do not need to be right now. I
get your point. I do get your point. I think what we will do, I think just on the basis of the way that we're going to play, we're going to be absolutely fine. We're going to have attacking. We're going to be attacking from all fronts. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So this is what I mean. Callum Wilson's not the profile we'll be looking. We're looking for young talent now. Young attack, strong talent. Gift Orban's the one I want. I've said all along, go and get Gift Orban. He's a 21-year-old, plays at again, and he's tearing up. In every level he's played at, he is torn it up. Go and read into this kid. This kid's good. This kid's good. And it's one of those. And the thing is you go and get someone like that in, and under this Postecoglou system, you're going to allow players like him to thrive at the moment. They're going to thrive because you're not going to. And the one thing I said, do you know what? To go and get someone like him in, actually selling Harry Kane is a massive plus point.
Yeah, because it creates room at the top. It creates room.
We can go to him and go, look, go on. You show your worth. You'll play every single week.
Yeah.
You dislodge Richarlison. You're starting, lad. We don't care about if you're 21, 22, 25, whatever. If you show me in training you're better than him, you're starting. Whereas I feel like, and this is the thing, and this is where I feel like the old guard is moving. And I called it the old guard to the new guard. The old guard at Tottenham was Harry Kane, Højbjerg, Eric Dyers. These they were just 3 names.
Yeah, there's a huge. You could go on.
Son.
Yeah, go on.
These are the old guard at the moment at Tottenham. For me, I want the old guard. And listen, people will hate me when I say this. Tottenham fans will hate me. I said, I'm not even too against Heung-min Son going next season. Say at the end of this season, we sell Heung-min Son. I don't mind. I want a new change at this club. I want all of the old lot gone. Hugo Lloris on his way out. Thank God he's got to go. Get the old guard in. Get the old guard out and start bringing this young, hungry, energetic. The one thing I'm really excited about, and we'll go back to Arsenal for a second. I feel like
go ahead.
feel like we've talked about Tottenham a lot because at the moment it's all about Tottenham.
It's all about Tottenham. Like I said in the back room, man. Like all of this transfer news going on. I'm just glad Arsenal isn't the butt of any jokes. And it's kind of weird. Like I can kick my feet up on YouTube this week. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I get that. You lot have got your business done. We'll talk about your business in a second, actually. What I'll say this, Jaminho, Perchy, just out of curiosity, is Troy Parrott still at the club? He is, and he shouldn't be. He's awful. No, I don't care. He's awful. This is a player that everyone bigged up when he was 16 years of age and went, oh, he's the next best thing. Every single level this lad plays at, he can't score goals. That terrifies me as a striker. If you're playing at a League One Championship, he started going into the Championship, scored 2 or 3 goals, then went to League One with MK Dons and scored about 6 or 7. That worries me. For me, cut your losses, go and find a place somewhere. You're not Premier League level at all. Nowhere near it. I don't care. I don't care who you are at this football club. If you're not good enough, you're going. For me, the one thing I want this club and the Harry Kane era is going, where I feel like I'm hoping, touch wood, that the sentimentality era is gone as well. For me now, it's all about if you're good enough, you're in. If you're not good enough, you're gone. Simple as that.
Right.
I don't want us to keep holding on to players. We did it with Harry Kane. And listen, Harry Kane to a certain extent is the exception. Elite football player. But can you name me another elite football player that has been at one club for 8 years? Playing first team football for 8 years. One elite football player.
Not in the Prem.
In general, can you name one? There's not many.
There's not many. Yeah.
There isn't. There's a very small percentage of players because elite football players move up the ladder. Harry Kane was probably one of the last that didn't do that. And listen, by the way, this is not me having a go at Harry Kane. Fair play. You've now gone and moved to an elite football club. Good on you. Hope you do well. Blah, blah, blah. We've now got some money. Let's go and build. But for me, what we haven't done at Tottenham for a long time, what I want is recycling. I call it recycling. We buy, good enough, get rid of one. Buy, get rid, and keep doing that cycle for 4 years under Postecoglou. We can start building an absolute system here. Yeah. And I genuinely, this is why I'm excited. I genuinely am excited at Tottenham at the moment. I think we're building something good. I just hope our fan base understands where I'm coming from.
Yeah, Hoover Right TV and Dragging These Nuts. You guys are naming elite football players that are already at top clubs. I think we were talking about.
Oh wait, so I'll move down. Yeah,
move down a little bit.
The thing is Hoover Right. What my point being is, I'm talking about when we're talking about players like Thomas Müller. I agree with you, but he's the exception to the rule because he's at an elite football club.
Exactly. Yep.
Now tell me an elite football player that plays at a top level, but not an elite level. Now tell me one player that stays at a football club for 8 years. I wouldn't call Marco Reus elite. I think he's a very, very good player. I wouldn't put him anywhere near the world-class level. I'm talking about world-class players. My bracket for world-class is very small. So I think, again, Dragon these nuts. You said Messi, but Messi was at a system at Barcelona where he was winning everything.
Mm-hmm.
He was already at the top. He didn't need to go. My point being is I call it the football food chain. It's a football food chain, isn't it? You work your way up it. You don't sit down here and be that person. If you're that good, you go to the top. Like, for example, a gazelle doesn't become the top of the food chain. Never does. Good players, the lions become top of the food chain. But
again, Mbappe. He was at AS Monaco and then moved to PSG, was at Monaco, and he's going to move again.
And even now, he wants to go to the best club in the world. It's in Real Madrid. Mbappe.
I don't mean to be turning on the chat here, but you guys aren't paying attention.
Yeah, exactly. Big up Ravi. Spurs got also think of a life after Sun, don't you think? Literally, we were just speaking about it 5 minutes ago. I think you've just joined in, but welcome to the show. I agree. I think now is the time to replace Heung-min Son. People won't like it. People won't like hearing it, but it's time to look forward. I think he has regressed. I hope it was just a drop and it's a back up. I really hope, because we need him to score goals this season. I'm seeing so many. Manuel Neuer. Manuel Neuer didn't stay. Manuel Neuer worked up the food chain and got to the top of the food chain. As I said, there were small factors in it. But listen, did Manuel Neuer go on and go to Real Madrid? He didn't. He stayed at Bayern Munich. He could have gone one more step. Just saying. Yeah. But let's talk about Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite subjects. But let's talk about Arsenal. How's your transfer window doing? And let me know person for person how you're getting on with that. Who do you like? Who do you not like?
I don't like Kai Havertz. I don't see how he fits in. And I can already see Arteta shoehorning him in at number 9. With Jesus out. And honestly, between him and Nketiah, I don't see much of a difference, especially with some of the chances that Havertz had against Man City that he should have finished. I mean, there are 2 that he probably should have finished. Granted, one of those was behind him, but the other one, he should have absolutely finished that one. I don't think that Havertz is the guy. I really don't. And I think we're going to be paying him 300 bags a week to realize that.
Not money. Kai Havertz is a weird one. And I'll ask you this because it seems like a lot of people want him, but I don't know why. Tell me why. Why is Arteta signed him? There's got to be a reason, right?
I think Arteta thinks he can get the Leverkusen version out of him. And a lot of Chelsea fans were laughing at us, Perchie, when we bought him, just like they were laughing at United for buying him out.
They thought they got a good deal out of it. They got good money.
Well, no, they did. They did. What is the most you would have paid for Kai Havertz?
I mean, if we're talking about Tottenham specifically, I don't see where he fits.
Well, if you put yourself in Arsenal's shoes, what is the most you would? I
wouldn't have bought him personally. I look and go,
but value when we were linked to him, and we were linked for like 60 million, and it ended up being 65. I was like, this guy's worth 30 tops, given the way that he moves in the Prem. He was in, granted, he was in a dead Chelsea team, but at the same time, elite players that are worth 65 million. Push through that and score more than 7 goals in 30 games starting at the 9th position.
But the problem with Kai Havertz, and you'll probably agree with me in what I'm going to say here, what role is he? Because I'll be honest, I don't know.
Arteta doesn't even know.
I don't think he's got the capabilities at an 8. I don't think he's got the passing and the positional awareness to be a number 8. I don't think he's a number 10 because I don't think he's creative enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a 9 because I don't think he scores enough goals and he's not very good at that. I don't think he's got the pace to play as a 7 or 11. So he's one of those. I call him a jack of all trades, master of none. Like I genuinely think that. I think he's one of those players that could. And the only positive that I say positive, the only thing I could think of why they got him is they're going, do you know what? He's like a Stanley knife. Not a Stanley knife, no, a Swiss Army knife. Sorry,
Swiss Army knife. Yeah, I think
Swiss Army knife. You wouldn't say that everything on the Swiss Army knife is good enough to do its individual job, right? But it's handy if you need something to come on and jump in and do something.
Well, exactly, and that's why, and that's the point that I was getting to is that I don't think it was good business because we're paying 300. We are paying 330 bags a week for somebody that I think should be coming off the bench.
Yeah, that's
my
fair.
opinion. So in our midfield, we got Rice and Partey at CDM, Odegaard up top, flanked by Martinelli and Saka with, in my opinion, with Jesus out, it should be Trossard up top.
Yeah,
and that is my starting 11 every week until Jesus comes back, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I don't understand the business there. So I hope I'm proven wrong, and I don't think I will be. But the problem is, Perchie, is that he's probably going to be starting at number 9 against Nottingham Forest. They're dead. He's probably going to score a brace, and everybody's going to see, oh, Arteta, it was unbelievable business. I can't believe people doubted him for a second. Watch it happen. But enough about Havertz. Is it all right if I move on a little bit?
Mate, This is your part of it. Go. You talk about your
transfers, So here's Declan Rice. We paid the money for West Ham's legend. I think he is a future Arsenal captain. I think he is going to be incredible at the CDM position. And the fact that we held on to Partey too, this is the strongest we've been at CDM in a long time. So I am extremely excited about that. We have depth in Jorginho. If somebody happens to get injured, it's probably going to be Partey because he's made of glass. Let's be real. But I am I'm thinking very, very positively about this at this point. Hopefully I'm not proven wrong. I think Declan Rice, it was great. We paid the money, which is a record signing fee for Arsenal, but it shows that we're serious. That's the point. It shows that we're serious. This wasn't us, rolling the dice on somebody like Fabio Vieira. This is somebody we are going out to get a Premier League proven European trophy winning player.
I think I'll say this now, and any Spurs fans in the chat that disagree with me, I'll say it straight. I think Declan Rice is an absolute steal. People got, we've overpaid him. I don't think so. I think he's the right man. He fits exactly what you've got there. He'll work in that centre midfield role. He will travel, and he's a very, very good football player.
The market is.
I agree. I think he will be your captain. I think he'll be your captain soon. I think he won't be this season, but they'll give it to him next season.
Yeah, so I agree.
I don't see Odegaard as a captain. He's your captain, but I don't see him as your I don't see him as captain material. Whereas I see Declan Rice as a player that goes, "Come here, you're doing that. You're doing that. We're sorting this out now." I don't see where Odegaard does that. He seems like too nice for it. Whereas Declan Rice comes across as not as a dick is the wrong term, but he comes across as because the dick's the wrong term.
He's imposing. He's imposing.
Imposing. That's the right word I'm looking for. I agree. Yeah. And for me, that's where I look. That's the part where I look at it as. I go, do you know what? You've got a good player there. He will be your captain. Jamie, you come in with overpaid for Rice. Yeah, you will.
Jamino hates Declan Rice.
I don't understand why you hate him, though. That's the question. I'm trying to work out why. I think he's an amazing football player.
He's a great player. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, too, is that I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said a little bit here, Perch. We paid the fair market price for Rice. The price was 100 M's. We paid it. You can say we overpaid, but the market is the market. The market's out of control. You're going to see Caicedo go to either Liverpool or Chelsea for 110.
Yeah.
That's insane for somebody who's only had one good season in the Prem.
By the way, I still think it's a great signing, by the way, for Chelsea.
It's a great signing. No, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that
I get
the amount of seasons does not equal the amount of money that, Moises Caicedo. If you told us this time last season that Moises Caicedo was going to be going for 100 million, we would have laughed.
Do you want to hear something mad? Do you want to hear something incredible? You'll like this one.
Yeah.
3 years ago today, 11th of August, 2020, a lad, I can't remember his name, but a lad on Twitter who's one of a Chelsea in the know guy went, Chelsea are interested in £4.5 million signing Moises Caicedo. 3 years ago, 4.5 million quid. He went to Brighton, and now he's worth 110 million pounds. Let's carry on, because obviously we've talked about. You obviously signed Urian Timber. You've signed. I believe, has it been announced yet? David Raya has announced yet, or not? Or potentially today.
David Raya has not been announced yet, but let me.
He had his medical today, didn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So
let me say something about Urian Timber though, real quick. I think that he could end up being the signing of this transfer window, and yes, that includes Declan Rice in there.
What's the Arsenal we're talking about, right? Not
Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe needs to be on the bench. I want to keep Smith Rowe. Anyway, I just want to answer that question. But the way that Timber is moving throughout the preseason and has been absolutely incredible. He slots into this team very, very quickly. I think better than Rice has, way better than Havertz has. So I think right now the biggest value for money move that we've made right now has been Urian Timber. I think he walks into that left back position the way that he's playing in the preseason.
I thought he played right back, no?
He played right back at Ajax, but he's playing left back at Arsenal.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and he played left back against Barcelona, tore up trees, did great. Played left back against Man City, was man of the match, and that was universally agreed. So it's one of those things where I don't care where you slot him in. The guy is an absolute baller, and he's solid. I think that he starts at left back for Arsenal. I really do. And like, so if I see Zinchenko at left back after we saw what we saw in the Community Shield, we saw what we saw against Barcelona, MLS All-Stars, obviously that's not that big of a deal, but the consistent performances that we've seen out of Timber, man, I'm telling you, I think this guy's a baller, and I'm really, really excited to see what he can do.
No, that's. I'm intrigued to see how Arsenal get on this season. I mean, we're gonna talk about it all season. We're gonna go through it every Tuesday about the games on it.
Yeah.
What I would say, where did you think Arsenal are going to finish second?
Yes.
Do you know where I think they're going to finish? And when you hear what I'm going to say, don't take it as a negative because it's not. There's a reason for it.
I'm going to rip you up. Go ahead.
I'm going to think you're going to finish fourth. But whoa, hear me out. But do you know what? There's a positive to this. I'm actually going to put a positive spin on it.
Okay.
I think you're going to progress quite far in the Champions League, and I think that your priorities will be the Champions League this year. I think what you're going to have is you're going to have a group of players that will progress in the Champions League, but I don't think you're going to have the consistency in the league. But it'll go one or two ways. I think you could finish second, but then not progress in the Champions League. I think it will go one or two ways. Yeah. I just worry that you haven't got the full squad, so to speak, to do it right now. I think you'll get there. I think over a few seasons you'll get there.
Yeah.
I think you will be. I think I've predicted Chelsea to finish third because they've got no European football. And I think no European football is going to.
I just don't see who's scoring the goals for Chelsea. That's my sticking point with Chelsea is I don't see where their goals are coming from. I keep bringing this up. I don't think, and I'm not going to go on a Chelsea rant here, but I don't understand where people think the goals are coming from for Chelsea. Everybody's saying, oh yeah, they're going to get back into Europe. I don't think Pochettino is that magic, I mean, I really don't think that he has the tools yet. Eventually,
I think he does. I think if they get Caicedo, that will be the final. That will be one of the final ticks.
Yeah, but who's going to be scoring the goals for him, Perch? That's the question.
I think Jackson's going to get goals. I think Mudryk's going to be good this season. He looked sharp in preseason. Madueke had a good preseason. Do you know what? Chelsea was a weird one, and I didn't even mean to. But Chelsea was one of those weird ones. I didn't mean to. It just seemed to be that they were on TV. They just seemed to be on TV, Chelsea did, when pre-season was on. And it was one of those, you flick around, Chelsea's on, I'll flick them on, I'll put them on whilst I'm doing other bits. And I watched them play and I went, do you know what? Pochettino's got these lot playing. He's got these lot playing quite well. They brought, I really like, who was the other fella? Chukwuemeka. I really like him. I think he's going to be a really, really good football player. And Nkunku, when he's back fit, he's going to be amazing.
He's going to be a baller. I agree.
I think they've bought well at the centre-back area. I think they've got good centre-half, young talent. I think Pochettino's going to do fine there. The one thing they haven't got egos there. That's the one thing. No, that's my point. The one thing what Chelsea had before was they had way too many egos there. They haven't got that now. What they've got is hungry talent there that will fight for a role. I think they getting Caicedo, another £100 million player. Just think about that midfield is going to cost £125 million, by the way.
Right.
Let that sink in. No, sorry, 225, sorry. Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo in midfield.
$200 million.
Huh?
£200 million in your midfield for two players. It's insane.
But I tell you what, though. Good business. You then look at what they've got. They'll play Nkunku, a little numbers in that 10. Mudryk on one wing, Madueke on the other wing. They've also brought in, someone remind me there was, they brought in the other guy in the wing. Someone in the chat salvaged me, I've forgotten. Yeah, that's another point. Reece James is back in that team now after it.
Yeah.
Chilwell, Cucurella's going to be back. I think he wasn't great last season, but I think
I wouldn't be coming out with Cucurella as like a good option after the season.
But he's squad, isn't he? He's a squad player.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. What was the lad that Benfica got? Yeah, they bought another Benfica. They bought that lad from Benfica. I've forgotten his name. But listen, I think Chelsea can be a weird team this season. They've completely gutted out that team and gone, do you know what? We're starting again.
Right.
Spend more money. if it goes wrong, it goes wrong dramatically for Chelsea. But if it goes right,
it goes right in the right direction.
Don't be too worried. Don't be worried that they'll be creeping into that Champions League lot next season. I don't think they're at Man City level yet, because I think Man City are going to walk the league this year. I think they walk it. I think people are saying about them being they're worse than last season. I said no, they're not. What do? Man City get rid of a player, they bring someone straight in. Gundogan goes, Kovacic comes straight in.
Yep, Guardiola. I mean, look, like these. This is why I'm saying Man City's going to win the league again, and
yeah,
I don't think it's a question for in people's minds. Well, there are a lot of people that are saying Arsenal are going to win it, and then they're going to have to walk it back. I'm not saying that Arsenal are going to win the league. I just think that you have Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola does not miss. That's the thing. The last time he missed was in a COVID season.
I get that. I think Guardiola is going to be absolutely fine. I think Man City are going to comfortably do it. I think I wouldn't be too shocked if they do something incredible this season and go and do a quadruple. It wouldn't shock me. They're that good. Mate, we're going to go for another 4 minutes, guys. Anyone in the chat? There were some chats that I did pin that were questions.
Bring it on.
Ravi question, TJ. What really does Jorginho add to Arsenal?
Depth. That's it. I still don't like he doesn't start in the league for me. He'll maybe start in the FA Cup, early Carabao Cup, but I don't think he starts in the Champions League. He doesn't start in the Premier League. He is a depth player only and provides stability maybe late in the game. But I don't. Yeah. That's about it for me. He's too slow. He doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have a lot of what made him Jorginho 6 years ago. It's that.
And no, absolutely right. And Jaminho is coming with a question here saying, TJ, how many goal contributions do you think Havertz will get this season?
That's a great question. 15, probably.
I was going to say, I think 15. I'd go 15 with that.
Yeah, 15.
Any other questions in the chat before we end it? Any questions for me? Any questions for TJ? Let's do it.
Yeah, make sure you're smashing the likes up, people. We only got 19 likes. Make sure you're smashing them up.
Guys, smash the likes. Let's do this.
If you're watching on playback, which I know a lot of you are going to be because you're over there on Henry White, right?
Yeah.
Smash the likes up, baby.
If you're on playback, smash the likes as well, guys. Come on. Yep. We're going to keep doing this every Tuesday. We're going to keep doing it. And listen, we're going to talk about games and stuff. And listen, the one thing I want is it's great having interaction from you guys because we can steer the conversation to what you guys want to hear. That's the main one. TJ, can't be roasted cooker when you've got Tierney. Oh, I think that.
Your sliced bread. How much Arsenal football do you watch, my friend?
I think
Tierney is not overrated, and I can be roasting Cucurella all I want. Did you not watch
life? I've seen you. Want to be Pep Lego man who's crap coach who wins nothing, sack him.
I agree.
Ten Hag had 4 seasons. I'm demanding.
We need a trophy. If we don't win a trophy, we got to sack him.
Say about Ten Hag. Ten Hag's a good example. We're going to wrap up in a second, but I just want to ask this question with this guy because Ten Hag is very Marmite with a lot of Arsenal, Man United fans. Some love him and some absolutely hate him. I think he's done a good job. Won a trophy opening season, fair play. I think he's going to keep going far with this. I think people, he didn't have. I think he had a fine season last season. I think he gets a lot of stick unnecessarily. What's your thoughts?
I think that people are not patient enough with managers nowadays. I think that Ten Hag is building his squad. He got a lot. One thing that you can say about Man United is they got their outgoing transfers taken care of. Like they got rid of Maguire, they got rid of Fred, or they're getting rid of Maguire. They got rid of Fred, they got rid of McTominay. He is building the squad that he thinks will win. So I don't think Man United finished anywhere above 5th this season, but I think that in the future, a full Ten Hag team is going to be dangerous moving forward. Yeah, I rate Ten Hag. Ten Hag is a hell of a manager.
I think good, very good manager. And last question, we're going to round it on this. Jamie, what do you guys both think of David Raya deal being a loan due to FFP? I think not surprised. We have FFP problems, especially when Edu is at the wheel. I'll jump in quickly first. I agree. Yeah. I think it can only be FFP reasons. When I heard it was a loan, I went, what? I mean, this is a lad that's got 1 year left on his contract. Doesn't make any sense. And then they've offered him an extension to his contract. I just found it very baffling. What are your thoughts?
I think that it's a great deal. I think that getting him on loan to try, it's essentially a trial, right? We're seeing what he can do for Arsenal in that backup role. I think he is going to be backup for Ramsdale, but if Ramsdale slips, you have another Premier League proven goalkeeper behind him. And we have a full season to figure out, hey, do we want to pay the rest of the 30 million transfer fee? I think it's great. I think it's speculative at this point, but I think and I never ever compliment Edu, but I have to on this because this was a great deal. And if it was for dodging FFP, that's fine. We had to front load the $100 million that we had to pay for Declan Rice to get it over the line. I think it's great. I think it's great.
Great. That's why, Jamie, you're right. It
That's
had
fine.
to be FFP. It didn't make any sense otherwise.
Yeah.
Perch, don't get me wrong. I'm saying if he had time, Arteta he'd be demanding a Champions League Prem. Yeah, no, I get your point. I think the one thing I will say about Arsenal were in a different situation. They were at rock bottom, really. And listen, I think a lot of fans judged Arteta, you could argue, maybe early. Listen, the one thing, though, that will happen this season now is fans will get on the back if they regress now. That's a key one. I say that the key one now is, listen, you guys got yourselves second last season, missed out on it, and I'm not one of these that will see that you bottled it and all that rubbish. You were just not a better team than Man City. Man City were that much better. But this season, you've spent a lot more money. And this time, what you've gone and done is you've spent a lot of money on 3 players? 4 if you count the goalkeeper. So now what you're saying is you've bought quality over quantity. No, the excuses stop now. When I hear Arsenal fans going, well, Champions League's a target. No. You can't be spending £100 million on players now and going, just qualifying for the Champions League. Don't work like that. Now, you should be bridging the gap now with Man City. I still think Man City are better, but Arsenal need to now juggle Champions League football plus closing the gap with Man City. If you don't and you fall away, the manager's going to be questioned there. And I think that's valid. I think you guys are in a totally different situation to us. I think I've said all along, I've got no standards this season. When I say standards, I mean my standards are high, but I mean this season in the sense of I've got no expectations, the right word probably. For me, I just want to see a stable football club. A football club where we've gutted players out and we've now got a system with a manager where we can start again, brick by brick. We're not going to build a house in a season, but we could over 4. So it's going to take time. We're at the early stages of when Arteta took over. That's where we are now. Now, start building this with this team. Get rid of players, bring new players in. Yeah, we've lost a superstar. But now it's going to be about the team, not about Harry Kane. And guys, on that note, I think we're good. I think we'll wrap it up here. Thanks so much, guys, in the chat. All you guys on playback, hit the like. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe to TJ. Go and subscribe to him.
Yes.
Channel link's there. The link is there, just down there somewhere in the on the title. I'll see you on Tuesday, mate. We'll do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again. And we're gonna go again. And the chat is gonna be out of control because we're not competing with Lee Gunner and Henry Wright.
No, we're better. We're better than them. We're better than them. On that note, guys, we're going to leave you a little video on the way out with the master himself breaking the record. The outro has to happen. On that note, guys,
here we go.
Have a good one. Peace out.
I didn't endorse this.
And here's Kane. He sits on Tottenham's loftiest perch, beyond even the great Greaves.